Hello students, greetings from Indore Public School. In the last video, we have discussed about the female gametophyte and process of megasporogenesis. So let us continue further. Today we will study about pollination, its types and advantages and disadvantages of each type and various agents of pollination. So let us begin. So pollination, as you all know, what is pollination? Transfer of pollen grains from anthers to stigma. Right? We have already studied it in previous classes. Pollination क्या है? Transfer of pollen grains from anthers to stigma. So this is known as pollination. Pollination can be either self-pollination or cross-pollination. Right? So we already know basically what does self-pollination and cross-pollination mean. Self-pollination means within the same plant and cross-pollination is between two different plants, right? So, self-pollination can be either autogamy or geitonogamy. Autogamy. What is autogamy? If the pollination occurs in the same flower. Now, what does that mean? Stamens, pollen grains from the stamens, they pollinate the stigmas of the same flower. Okay? Pollen grains from the same flower, they fall on the stigma of the same flower. The process is known as autogamy. Geitonogamy, pollen grains from one flower fall to the stigma of another flower of the same plant. Right? So autogamy and geitonogamy both do not bring about much genetical variations because the pollen grains are either coming from the same flower, right, falling on the stigma of the same flower or on the stigma of another flower of the same plant. ठीक है, जिस फ्लावर का पोलन ग्रेन है वो या तो उसी फ्लावर के स्टिग्मा को पॉलिनेट कर रहा है जिसको हम बोलते हैं ऑटोगेमी, या फिर दूसरे फ्लावर के स्टिग्मा को पॉलिनेट कर रहा है बट वो दूसरा फ्लावर भी सेम प्लांट का है. फाइन. तो इसीलिए इसमें जेनेटिकल चेंजेस, जेनेटिकल वेरिएशंस कम होंगे या नहीं होंगे और इवोल्यूशनरी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से इसका कोई भी सिग्निफिकेंस नहीं रहेगा. Whereas xenogamy, what is xenogamy? Xenogamy is pollination between two different plants. Okay, pollen grains from the flower of one plant, pollen grains from the anthers of one plant, they fall on the stigma of flowers which are born on another plant. ठीक है, एक प्लांट से पोलन ग्रेन्स दूसरे प्लांट के फ्लावर पे ट्रांसफर हो रहा है. तो xenogamy is cross pollination. It brings about genetical variations as well as it has evolutionary significance. Fine. We will discuss about each one of them one by one. Okay. So now autogamy. Autogamy, as we have discussed, it is a transfer of pollen grains from the anthers to the stigma of the same flower. ठीक है, उसी फ्लावर के एंथर सेम फ्लावर के स्टिग्मा के ऊपर आ रहे हैं. ठीक है, तो ये जो प्रोसेस है इसको बोलते हैं ऑटोगेमी. नाउ ऑटोगेमी रिक्वायर्स द एंथर्स एंड द स्टिग्मा टू लाई क्लोज. इट ऑल्सो रिक्वायर्स सिंक्रनी इन द पोलन रिलीज एंड स्टिग्मा रिसेप्टिविटी. राइट. So there are certain requirements for autogamy to occur. Fine. First of all, anthers and stigma will lie close to one another. Okay. Anthers और stigma एक दूसरे के close होंगे जिससे कि easily pollen grains उसी anther के stigma के ऊपर गिर जाएं. या और इसके अलावा there should be synchrony in the pollen release and stigma receptivity. मतलब जिस समय pollen release हो रहे हैं उसी समय stigma receptive होना चाहिए. मतलब pollen ग्रेन्स का जो मेच्योरिटी है और स्टिग्मा की मेच्योरिटी सेम टाइम पे होनी चाहिए, तभी सेम फ्लावर के पोलन ग्रेन्स उसी फ्लावर को पॉलिनेट कर सकते हैं. ठीक है. सो देयर आर सम कंडीशंस, सम वेज बाय विच इट कैन हैपन. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल क्लीस्टोगेमी. क्लीस्टोगेमी मीन्स द फ्लावर रिमेन्स क्लोज. क्लीस्टोगेमस फ्लावर्स वो होते हैं जो ओपन होते ही नहीं है. तो इफ अ फ्लावर डज नॉट ओपन, it cannot come in contact with the pollen grains of other flowers. Fine. तो there is no other way other than the autogamy, है ना. अगर फ्लावर ओपन ही नहीं होगा तो बाहर से पोलन ग्रेन आ ही नहीं सकता है, तो इसीलिए ऑटोगेमी ही होगा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल वायला एंड ओक्सालिस, ये जो प्लांट्स हैं ये दो टाइप के फ्लावर्स प्रोड्यूस करते हैं, ठीक है। चास्मोगेमस फ्लावर मतलब वो फ्लावर्स जो ओपन होते हैं, और क्लिस्टोगेमस फ्लावर्स मतलब इन प्लांट्स में कुछ फ्लावर्स तो ओपन होते हैं और कुछ फ्लावर्स ओपन नहीं होते हैं, राइट। तो कुछ फ्लावर्स ओपन नहीं हो रहे हैं तो उनमें कौन सा पॉलिनेशन हो सकता है? ओनली ऑटोगेमी, क्योंकि वो ओपन ही नहीं होंगे तो बाहर से पोलन ग्रेन्स आने का कोई भी चांस नहीं रहेगा, राइट। Along with this, there should be homogamy. Homogamy means anthers and stigma mature at the same time, right? Stigma और anther का maturity time same होना चाहिए, then only it can work. Fine, Mirabilis, Catranthus, potato, sunflower, इन सभी flowers में ये होता है. Then bud pollination. There are some flowers in which anthers and stigma mature before the opening of the flower. Means before the flower opens, already pollination is done. Right, so such type of pollination is known as bud pollination. Fine. So these are some ways by which autogamy can happen. Now there are certain advantages as well as disadvantages of autogamy. What are they? First of all, very advantages. Very few pollen grains can pollinate the flower. Since pollination will occur in the same flower, so it does not require large number of pollen grains, right? So very few pollen grains can pollinate. Purity of the race is maintained. Fine, they will be pure, means there will be no hybridization, so purity of the race will be there. Then there will be no wastage of pollen grains as no agents are required and same pollen grains are pollinating the stigmas of the same flower. And there will be assured seed development, means there will be no chance that seed development does not occur, right? Because same flower is, pollination is occurring within the flower, right? But there are some disadvantages as well. Continuous self-pollination result in production of weaker progeny. The progeny becomes weaker and weaker, right? Then there are no chance of production of new species and varieties of plants, and the chance of evolution is reduced. There will be no variations, no evolution can happen, and new species cannot be produced. Means no evolution, chances of evolution are nil, we can say, in case of autogamy, right? So I hope you have understood autogamy. Now we will move to geitonogamy. As we have discussed, geitonogamy is transfer of pollen grains from anthers of one flower to the stigma of another flower, right? Genetically it is self-pollination, but functionally it is cross-pollination. What does it mean? Why functionally it is cross-pollination? Because it may require the help of agents. It may require the help of wind and insects for pollination. So we can say that geitonogamy is functionally cross-pollination, but genetically it is self-pollination. Why? Because there will be no genetic variations, right? Same, whatever pollen grains are pollinating, they will have the same genetic makeup. तो genetic makeup में कोई भी variation नहीं आएगा, इसलिए जेनेटिकली गीटोनोगेमी भी एक सेल्फ पॉलिनेशन है, लेकिन इसमें पॉलिनेटिंग एजेंट्स की जरूरत पड़ सकती है, इसीलिए ये एक फंक्शनल क्रॉस पॉलिनेशन है, राइट। मोनेशियस प्लांट्स में गीटोनोगेमी हो सकता है, फाइन। नेक्स्ट, ज़ेनोगेमी. Zenogamy is cross pollination in which pollen grains from the anthers of from the flowers of one plant, they get transferred to the stigmas of flowers of another plant, है ना। तो ये एक क्रॉस पॉलिनेशन है जो कि बिना एजेंट्स के हेल्प के नहीं हो सकता है. एजेंट्स आर रिक्वायर्ड इन दिस विंड, water or insects or other animals, right? So it can happen only in the presence of agents, right? Now again, there are certain floral characteristics which help in cross pollination. These floral characteristics are also considered as outbreeding devices. Let me tell you that these three kinds of pollination, autogamy, geitonogamy and xenogamy, these are very important. Fine. Autogamy, geitonogamy and xenogamy, these are the three kinds of pollination. Very important, 1-2 mark question comes, right? And then outbreeding devices, this is again very important. Fine. You may find the previous year's questions bearing 3 marks question based on outbreeding devices. तो outbreeding devices क्या है? वो devices जो कि प्लांट को क्रॉस पॉलिनेशन में हेल्प करती है, ठीक है. सेल्फ पॉलिनेशन को प्रिवेंट करते हैं और क्रॉस पॉलिनेशन को हेल्प करते हैं, तो वो डिवाइसेस को बोलते हैं हम आउटब्रीडिंग डिवाइसेस। तो ये क्या है? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हर्कोगेमी। नाउ व्हाट इज हर्कोगेमी? मैकेनिकल बैरियर ऑन द स्टिग्मा or pollen, right? So there are certain mechanical barriers inside the flower which do not allow the pollen grains of the same flower to fall on the stigma of the same flower. This condition is known as hyrcogamy. This is present in Calotropis. ठीक है, Calotropis flower, I hope you remember. I have given example of Calotropis many a times. This is a very common weed. These are white or purple colored flower offered to Lord Shiva, है ना। शिव जी को ये white या purple कलर के फ्लावर्स होते हैं जो चढ़ाए जाते हैं। इजीली आपको आपके एरिया में मिलेंगे, ठीक है। उसको ओपन करके देख सकते हैं। उसको जब हम लीव्स तोड़ते हैं तो उसमें व्हाइट कलर का सब्सटेंस निकलता है। इट इज पॉइजनस, राइट? सो वेन एवर यू हैंडल डोंट फॉरगेट टू वॉश योर हैंड्स, राइट? सो कैलोट्रोपिस में ये हर्कोगेमी की कंडीशन होती है जिसमें कि एक मैकेनिकल बैरियर होता है जिससे कि pollen grains of the same flower cannot fall on the stigma of the same flower. Next condition is dichogamy. Dichogamy means pollen and stigma mature at different time, right? Dichogamy is opposite of homogamy, right? You may remember what is homogamy. In the previous slide we have seen homogamy, anthers and stigma mature at the same time. ठीक है, तो this is an adaptation for a plant for self pollination, for autogamy. or for xenogamy, the condition is dichogamy, means pollen grains and stigma mature at different times, right? Means even if there is no mechanical barrier, pollen grain and stigmas both are present in the flower, but still they mature at different times, right? So self pollination is not possible. Now there can be two conditions, protandry and protogyny. Protandry means andrecium matures first. Proto means first, andry means andrecium. Means एंड्रीशियम इज मैच्योरिंग फर्स्ट, मतलब मेल पोलन ग्रेन्स जो हैं वो जल्दी बन रहे हैं एंड स्टिग्मा इज नॉट रिसेप्टिव, राइट? सो pollination and fertilization will not occur. Example in maize. And protogyny. Protogyny means gynecium is maturing first, है ना? Gynecium becomes matured first and pollen grains are not released, right? So again self pollination cannot occur, right? It happens in bajra and aristolochia. Fine. So dichogamy means either of one of the part, male or female, matures first then the other, right? Then self incompatibility. Self incompatibility means the gynecium or the stigma is incompatible to the pollen grains of the same flower or same plant. अगर सेम प्लांट के पोलन ग्रेन्स पॉलिनेट करते हैं तो वो इनकम्पैटिबल होंगे और आगे का प्रोसेस नहीं होगा, मीन्स पोलन जर्मिनेशन का प्रोसेस नहीं होगा. मेल स्टेरिलिटी मीन्स पोलन ग्रेन्स ऑफ सेम प्लांट आर नॉट फंक्शनल, राइट? तो आइदर स्टिग्मा उसको एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेगा, ये भी हो सकता है, या फिर पोलन ग्रेन स्टेराइल होते हैं उसी प्लांट के लिए, ये कंडीशन भी हो सकती है, राइट? डायसिज्म. डायसिज्म मीन्स प्लांट कैन बी डायशियस. We have already discussed what is the meaning of dioecious. Dioecious means there are two kinds of individuals, male and female. मतलब मेल फ्लावर और फीमेल फ्लावर दोनों अलग अलग प्लांट्स पे लगते हैं, तो डेफिनेटली एक ही प्लांट में पॉलिनेशन पॉसिबल नहीं है, दो अलग अलग प्लांट्स में ही पॉलिनेशन होगा, राइट? देन नेक्स्ट इज हेट्रोस्टाइली. हेट्रोस्टाइली मतलब डिफरेंट लेंथ ऑफ स्टेमेन एंड स्टिग्मा. Stigma and stamen, their lengths are different in such a way that self-pollination cannot occur. Self-pollination is not possible because of different positions and different lengths of the stamen. So this is known as heterostyly. Example, primula and lumen, right? So these are some of the outbreeding devices. Hercogamy, which is mechanical barrier. Example, Calotropis. Dichogamy means either pollen or stigma matures first, then self incompatibility, male sterility, dioicism and heterostyly. These are very important and you should learn all these terms. Now, what are the advantages and disadvantages of cross pollination? So, progeny shows enhanced vigor. This was one of the disadvantage in self-pollination, that the progenies become weaker and weaker, right? तो क्रॉस पॉलिनेशन से उनका विगर एनहांस होगा, प्लांट्स विल बी मोर स्ट्रॉन्गर एंड दे विल हैव मोर वाइटैलिटी, राइट? देन ऑफस्प्रिंग्स आर मोर वायबल एंड रेजिस्टेंट. सेम, there is possibility to get new desirable characters. Definitely, due to cross pollination, different characteristics will come into the plant and new characteristics can develop, right? Yield of crop can be maintained. Fine, there will be no decrease in the yield. Then it helps in evolution as new traits can develop, so evolution can happen. Fine, and undesirable characters of plant can be eliminated, right? So all these are the advantages of cross pollination, but it can definitely have some disadvantages also. Pollination may fail due to distance barrier. If the plants are very distant, or suppose there is a dioecious plant, in one area only there is one female plant or a male plant, then it is very difficult to get it pollinated because of the distance. Then flowers have to totally depend on external agencies for pollination, right? Flowers are not self-dependent, but they will depend upon the agents of pollination, without which pollination cannot occur. And more wastage of pollen, because cross-pollinating flowers produce large number of pollen grains, because there is less chance of pollination. Due to less chances of pollination, more number of pollen grains are produced, and most of which are wasted, right? So there is more wastage of pollen, and certain undesirable characters may also come, okay? Because controlling, if it is not controlled from which plant it is coming, then it can lead to for generation of undesirable characters. Okay, now let us talk about agents of pollination. We already know that cross-pollinating plants are dependent upon the agents, either wind or water or animals, right? So let us talk about agents of pollination. First of all, wind. Okay, this is known as anemophily, right? Fine. So it is most common form of abiotic pollination. Abiotic means non-living. So water and wind are the abiotic pollinating agents, and animals including insects, birds and bats are biotic pollinating agents. So it is the most common abiotic pollinating agent, because very few plants are pollinated by water. Fine. So it is the most common form of abiotic pollination. Then flowers are small, colorless, inconspicuous, odorless and nectarless. Since flowers do not need to attract insects or birds or other animals, so there is no use of color, right? So the flowers do not have color. They are inconspicuous, means they are small, odorless, there is no smell, and there are no nectaries in the flower. Calyx and corolla are either reduced or absent. I hope you remember calyx and corolla. Calyx means the collection of sepals, corolla means the petals, right? So calyx and corolla, they are not important here. So they are very much reduced or they are absent. Then male flowers are more numerous than female flowers. Fine. And large number of stamens are present, because the chance of pollination is very less, because pollen grains will be transferred with the help of wind. So chance of pollination is very less. Okay. So male flowers are more numerous. Then plant possesses well exposed stamens and large feathery stigmas. Okay, stigma are large and feathery to receive the pollen grains. Pollen should be light, dusty and non-sticky to be carried easily by wind, right? Stigmas are large, well exposed, hairy or branched to catch pollen, right? Then wind pollinated flowers often have single ovule in the ovary and numerous flowers packed in the inflorescence. ठीक है, एक ही inflorescence में बहुत सारे flowers packed होते हैं, जैसे कि maize, right? Maize, the corn which we eat, is nothing but a female inflorescence, right? And each seed is one ovule, and each you can see the hairy structure coming out, that is actually the stigma. Fine. So it is nothing but a female inflorescence, we can say, right? So they have single ovule. It is very common in grasses, sugarcane, bamboo, coconut, date palm, cannabis, maize, right? You can see here a grass, fine, which is showing the feathery stigma, which is exposed. ठीक है, तो विंड पॉलिनेटेड फ्लावर के बेसिक कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स क्या है कि वो फ्लावर स्मॉल होगा, कलरलेस होगा, फिर केलिक्स और कोरोला पुअरली डेवलप्ड होगा. ठीक है, पोलन ग्रेन्स कैसे होंगे? पोलन ग्रेन्स विल बी लाइट, डस्टी, नॉन स्टिकी. ठीक है, स्टिग्मा कैसा होगा? स्टिग्मा विल बी लार्ज एंड फेदरी, जिससे कि वो पोलन ग्रेन्स को कैच कर सके. देन नंबर ऑफ मेल फ्लावर्स विल बी मोर न्यूमरस एज कंपेयर टू द फीमेल फ्लावर्स. Now hydrophily means pollination by water. Fine. So water, there are very few plants, only around 30 species of plants are pollinated by water. Even most of the water plants are insect pollinated like water lily and lotus. ठीक है, water lily और lotus जो हैं वो plants बाहर निकलते हैं, beautiful है, उनमें smell भी होती है, तो वो जो है इंसेक्ट से पॉलिनेट होते हैं, विंड वाटर से पॉलिनेट नहीं होते हैं. राइट, वेरी फ्यू प्लांट्स लाइक वैलेसिनेरिया, ज़ूस्टेरा, सेराटोफिलम, हाइड्रिला जो पानी के नीचे रहते हैं वो ही केवल वाटर से पॉलिनेट होते हैं. राइट, फाइन. तो व्हाट टाइप ऑफ फ्लावर्स डू दे हैव? फ्लावर्स आर स्मॉल, कलरलेस, इनकंस्पिक्यूअस, ओडरलेस एंड नेक्टरलेस. ठीक है, ये दिस कैरेक्टरिस्टिक इज सेम एज दैट इन विंड. फाइन. Calyx, corolla and other floral parts are unwettable, means they do not get wet. Fine. They can they may be covered by mucilage or wax-like substance. Okay. In most water pollinated plants, the pollen grains are long and ribbon-like and are protected from wetting by mucilaginous covering. Pollen grains can be long and they are covered by mucilage. Fine. Stigmas are long and sticky. Now certain examples like Zoosteria. Fine. What happens in Zoosteria? The pollen, it floats below the surface of water. Fine. And it coils around the stigma. Fine. Whenever they come across it. Fine. And so they coil around it and they pollinate. Then Ceratophyllum is another plant. In Ceratophyllum, the stamens are released and float. Fine. Then the complete stamens, they are detached from the प्लांट. फाइन. फिर स्टेमेंस जो हैं वो ब्रेक डाउन होंगे और उसमें से पोलन ग्रेन्स बाहर आएंगे. फाइन. तो पोलन ग्रेन्स जो है दे विल नाउ स्टार्ट कमिंग डाउन एंड व्हेन दे विल कम डाउन दे विल जर्मिनेट, दे विल लैंड ऑन द स्टिग्मा एंड जर्मिनेट देम. ठीक है, तो सेराटोफिलम में क्या हो रहा है? स्टेमेंस प्लांट से अलग हो जाते हैं, वो फ्लोट करते हैं, फिर स्टेमेंस ब्रेक डाउन होते हैं, उसमें से पोलन ग्रेन्स निकलते हैं, पोलन ग्रेन्स फिर नीचे आते हैं. ठीक है, और वो स्टिग्मास के ऊपर लैंड होते हैं और जर्मिनेट करते हैं. ठीक है. देन वैलेसिनेरिया. फाइन. वैलेसिनेरिया एक डायशियस प्लांट है, उसमें मेल और फीमेल प्लांट्स जो हैं वो अलग अलग होते हैं. ठीक है, तो मेल प्लांट्स जो हैं वो नीचे ही अपने स्टिग्मास छोड़ देते हैं. द स्टिग्मास मेल प्लांट जो हैं वो नीचे ही अपने स्टेमेंस को छोड़ देते हैं. Stamens come on the surface. Fine. This is a female branch. ये फीमेल ब्रांच जो है ये बहुत लॉन्ग होता है, कॉइल्ड और लॉन्ग होता है. तो जब ये रिसेप्टिव होता है, ठीक है, जब ये मेच्योर होता है तो ये जो कॉइल्स ओपन होते हैं एंड द फ्लावर्स दे कम ऑन द सरफेस. फाइन. पोलन भी सरफेस पे आ चुके हैं एंड पोलन ग्रेन्स दे फ्लोट ऑन द वाटर. ठीक है, और वाटर करंट से ये फीमेल फ्लावर के पास आते हैं और पॉलिनेट करते हैं. सो वी कैन सी हियर दैट द चांसेस ऑफ वाटर पॉलिनेशन इज इवन लेस. राइट. सो वेरी फ्यू प्लांट्स दे आर अडेप्टेड फॉर वाटर पॉलिनेशन. रेस्ट ऑफ इवन द वाटर प्लांट्स लाइक वाटर लिली एंड लोटस दे आर पॉलिनेटेड बाय इंसेक्ट्स. Now, pollination by insects, which is also known as entomophily. So, other animals like birds and bats also help in pollination, but insects are the main pollinating agents, right? So, insects like butterflies, bees, wasps, they come to the flowers. Butterflies, they come to the flowers to collect the pollen grains or the nectars, right? And in this way, they pollinate. Fine. So, there is we can say a relationship exists, symbiotic association exists between the insects and the flowers. Fine. Okay. Now, what are the basic adaptations? The flowers are large, colorful, right? Well developed calyx and corolla are there. They have smell. They have nectaries developed. Now there are certain plants like bougainvillea in which the flowers are very small. ठीक है, तो उसमें क्या होता है कि leaves they become brightly colored to attract the insects. Some flowers which are small, they will bloom in bunch so that they can attract insects. So they they adapt in this way to attract the insects. Fine. Pollen grains are sticky. Pollen grains have a sticky substance called pollen kit which will attract the insects. Right. Fine. Then there are certain floral rewards. For example, in Amorphophallus, which is the tallest flower, they provide a safe place for the insects to lay the eggs. Similarly, another plant, yucca, okay, that has one-to-one relationship with a moth, Tegicula, right? Now this moth is dependent on the plant to lay its eggs, and both of them help each other, right? Another, then there is an orchid called Ophrys, fine, again which has one-to-one relationship with one insect which pollinates it. Fine. So we can say that there is a close relationship between the plants and the pollinating agents. So students, I hope you have understood the ways of pollination, different types of pollination and the agents. Now I'll send the notes of the chapters. I will also send the worksheet to you as I have told you, right? So, but before that you should go through the NCERT book, right? Okay. Good day for today. Study well at home.